KML Norfleet, and together we are at the 50 with Fuji and Fleet. We're normally talking Eagles football, but this is Philadelphia, so we're going to talk Philadelphia today. And our guest today is a five-time Wing Bowl winner, Bill El Wingador Simmons. How are you, sir?
How you guys doing today? Happy New Year.
You
Good,
too.
same to
Thank you
you.
for coming on. We
Hey, no
appreciate it.
problem. No problem, buddy. No problem.
Yeah, and
Thank
I
you
want to
for
say to everybody that's listening, I'm going to be listening. Today is 1 January 2025. So a happy new year to everybody, and I wish you the very best this year coming up. Mike, go ahead.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to not to get into anything negative, but I want to take just acknowledge the people in New Orleans that were killed, earlier this morning.
Right, right.
Cowardly act, but I want to say our hearts go out to their friends and family, and it's just sad, just to start off, 24 was, had its ups and downs, but just to come out of the gate of in the 25 like this, like, on, not to put a damper on it, but it's, just want to keep those families and friends in our prayers.
Yeah, all right, good. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It happened, so it's here, and it's good that we express our um feelings for the family there. So that is great, Mike. All right,
absolutely.
Bill. First thing I want to ask you is, well, first thing I want to, if you could explain to us what Wing Bowl was all about, because if people in the Philadelphia area they know, but people that are listening other places they may not know what Wing Bowl is about. So, give us your explanation of Wing Bowl.
I have no idea. No, I'm only kidding. To be honest with you, I never knew what Wing Bowl was. I was asked to do this Wing Bowl 7 by two-time undefeated champion Heavy Kevy. God rest his soul. I said, well, what is it? He says it's just a chicken wing eating contest. And I said, listen, I'm not going to lose. I already
Mhm.
knew I was going to lose. I grew up. My mom is a Puerto Rican mother. We had chicken every other day.
Mhm.
And my grandmom used to kill the chickens in Puerto Rico and serve it for dinner that night. I'm
Mhm.
just love chicken. So
Right.
having a battle is liking what you eat. But to find out after digging around a little bit, the Eagles weren't doing well. We weren't making any Super Bowls. Buffalo Bills were getting screwed in all the Super Bowls they made.
Mhm.
They
Right.
just couldn't win one. So what I heard, Al Morganti came up with an idea. It's like, why don't we have our own bowl and call it Wing Bowl in honor of the Buffalo Bills for Buffalo wings.
You're right. Right.
Right.
And we'll have it the Friday before the Super Bowl. And apparently they did this in the studio and it grew this monster head where it was the biggest eating event in the world,
Mhm.
where 24,000 people would show up. I was honored to get in it a few times myself. I'm a competitor. And I was told by a lot of my friends and my wife at the time, you're not going to win this. These guys are animals. I said, listen, I've always been a competitor and I love
Mhm.
chicken. I said, I'll give it a shot. I'll win this thing. So I went in and won this thing. So, it grew from the actually studio to a hotel lobby
Mhm.
to the Egypt nightclub to the Spectrum. And I'm missing a couple spots, Electric
Yeah.
Factory and all, to the
Right.
Wells Fargo Center. They started talking about the link, after a while. They
Mhm.
start because there was 15,000 people outside the time I went against Sonia Thomas. And I'm like, they didn't open the doors yet. I'm coming into my limo, and there's like, no, there's already 25,000 people inside.
Mhm.
So it was just, and not to bring up New Orleans, but it was our Mardi Gras. It was
Right.
our
Right.
Right.
indoor Mardi Gras,
Mhm.
and it was just
Right.
as big as the Mummers, and not the history Mummers has, but
Right.
we made it as big as we could make it.
Mike.
Yeah. Bill, just to get into it, I mean, how long have you been doing these competitions?
I always tell people I wasn't a competitive eater.
Uh,
I'm a guy that likes to eat. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I got into this because I was asked to do it because I was notorious for eating a lot of food
Right.
because I was athletic all my life and I always burned a lot of energy. And I would go back to the bar after a softball league game or something and just eat 50 wings, cheesesteaks, a bowl
Right.
of mussels and spaghettis. And people are like, that's where Happy Kevy heard of me. He's like, you got to get Bill Simmons in there. This guy eats everything. He doesn't get full. So, that's
Also,
how I started. And, it was pretty easy for me, to be honest with you. The
right.
only problem that I had in Wing Bowl 7, my first one, that my jaws got tired. So,
Right.
me being an avid reader and fitness and stuff, we have 2,800 tendons in our jaw. And, muscle strength comes from tendons. It doesn't come from gigantic arms, it comes from tendons of
Mhm.
strength. So, I started eating frozen Tootsie Rolls 10 pounds a week.
Right.
And I rectified that problem and won a few more Wing Bowls.
Mhm.
As far as I mean, you competed against Joey Chestnut,
Yeah.
Black Widow. I forgot the other Asian gentleman's name, but who was your?
Kobayashi.
That's it. Who was your toughest? Besides those three, was there who was your really toughest competitor? I mean, was there the rivalry there with really
I
any
knew
of them or all of
uh,
them?
I knew what I was up against, but my
Mm-hmm.
toughest competitor is me. I just practiced 50 wings a few days before Wing Bowl to get my timing down and my rhythm down. And I did it as fast as any human being could do wings. There's nobody that can do. And I said, listen, if they beat me, I'll be the first one to shake their hand because I know I fly through these wings. So, I lost a couple times, which were controversy. But I was never a sore loser. I think a couple of them were taken from me. But it got to be a corporate business, more like a WWF thing,
Right.
state, kind of like a show. I understood that down the line, but my regiment was crazy. I was eating 15 pounds of food a day, 5 pounds in the morning, 5 pounds in the afternoon, 5 pounds in the evening, with every 5 pounds, a gallon of water and 10 pounds of Tootsie Rolls a week. I was going to the gym every day, LA Fitness. I was hitting Giant Fitness, doing different things. I was eating 30,000 plus calories a day. So I had to do this. I stepped it up when I was going up against these world ranked eaters. I did step it up. And I competed against them pretty good. I thought
Mm-hmm.
I hung in there pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Now, keep in mind, I didn't get into wing bowl till I was 37 years old, something like
Mhm.
that.
Right.
So I was eating against Molly at 52, 53 years old when we did the
Wow.
5 minute wing contest. And she
Mhm.
beat me 97 wings in 94 in 5 minutes. You, so,
Right.
there's just incredible people out there. And you know what? I became friends with all of them.
Mhm.
Angela always wanted everybody to hate each other.
Right.
It's all about the show. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But it was all good. It was all good. It was fun.
Right.
So
Oh yeah.
what's the highest number of wings on your either of your winning
Uh,
contests?
you want the women first, or you want the wings? No,
The wing.
no, I'm only playing.
I know.
So, the size of the wings fluctuate. When I first won, I ate 113 wings. They were gigantic. Angelo wanted a higher count to make it,
Mhm.
seem like we were doing incredible things, which they were.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out with these little pigeon wings. So the first one I won was 113. The most I ever ate was 283.
Mhm.
So, when they got smaller, I really didn't compete a lot when they got smaller. And when I did, I ate a lot more, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't win. I lost against Joey by 7 wings. I lost to Toll Man when I had 103 fever. I just, it's the smaller wings are tougher for me because they're small and some of them have a lot of sauce on them and it's a rhythm thing. Once you get into that rhythm, oh, thank you for that picture. This is why I don't get invited out to eat a lot. Who wants to look across the table and see that?
Right.
That's part of the competition.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. My mom, she's 84 years old still today. She's alive. She's like, as long as you did it with etiquette,
Right, right.
So I
Right.
was like, okay, mom, it was all good. It was
Was
all good.
is there a special wing bowl that stands out out of the five that you won? Yeah.
There's a couple that stand out to me in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Losing the squib in 19 disappointed me. I wrote about this in my book, because I needed that money. I knew that I was going to win. I knew I can beat him, and I did beat him.
Mm-hmm.
But what I heard down the line, that they wanted Squibb undefeated for Wing Bowl 20, so they can bring Kobayashi, Chestnut, all the 3-time champs, and then me back. But after I lost to him, I'm like, I'm not coming back. But I ended up coming back. I didn't even train. I think I ended up like fourth or fifth that Wing Bowl. I ended up bringing Kobayashi in. Kobayashi trusted me. He's a good friend of mine, and we
Okay.
went out. Yeah, we went out to eat. We talked, and I said, "Look, I'll stand in the corner. I'll show you how to do it." And he did it, and he's like a scientist with this thing. He calculated how to do it,
Wow.
and he did outstanding. But the best one was Sonia Thomas in overtime,
Mm-hmm.
Wing Bowl 13.
Okay.
That was very emotional for me. I even drew a tear in my eye because it just completely kicked my butt. And what got me over the hump with that one, and I will thank Philadelphia fans for this, is when I went to overtime with her and everybody started chanting my name, Ella Wingador, everybody on their feet. That what a feeling, what a picture through my eyes seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't let these people down, and I
Right.
gave it. I would have died at that table.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, and I beat her by one wing, and it was very emotional for me.
Wow.
So now, did they determine that overtime by once the time limit run out, you guys have the same amount of wings?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Who was cleaning them the best? I clean my wings. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, my mom used to, and she still yells at me for biting the ends of the bones off. She's like, "You're gonna choke on a bone." I'm like, "I'm good." But
Right.
yeah, I clean my wings very well. And Sonia wasn't cleaning them good.
Mm-hmm.
You could have made a chicken pot pie what was on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's I hear her wingettes when she beat me. I
Mm-hmm.
hear her wingettes telling her you have to clean them better. The judges, you got to
Mm-hmm.
clean them better. Me, I'm cleaning them. They're going, you're doing good. She's not cleaning them. Blah blah blah. Then I'm down. How am I down? How am I down? So I
Mm-hmm.
don't harp on it now. It's over with. It's in the books. It's just part of the story that made it
Right.
Mm-hmm.
really
Right.
good. So it's all
Yeah.
cool, man.
I agree with you about eating the wing because I grew up down south and we learned how to clean them. You you throw a bone to a dog, they look at you. What we gonna do with this? Half of the bone is gone.
Yeah, I didn't get along with my German shepherds too well. I used to train. I always had German shepherds, and I would buy them 5-pound bags of rawhide, and
Hmm.
I would watch my dog chew this thing, and I started pulling it out and chewing it, and chewing it,
Hmm.
and chewing it, and chewing it, and
Wow.
I could bite this table in half at the time. My jaws are
Right.
so strong. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a combination of everything with wings. It's not like hot dogs or just throwing stuff down your gullet. You got to have strong hands. You got to have strong jaws. There's a combination, and you got to have the appetite to keep the rhythm of keep swallowing down the food. So it's hands, jaws, strength. It's just that.
Was
Now, I would imagine you train for the simple reason of being able to participate, but also to keep from bringing this stuff back up, right?
What do you mean bringing this stuff back?
Throwing it back up,
Well,
after eating so
I'm not
much.
I'm not a heaver. I've never
Hmm.
come close to. One time, Angelo said I was, but I had a bone stuck in my throat. It was a
Hmm.
broken bone in the wing, and it got stuck. And I was like this, and I was just eating more to try to force it down,
Right.
which it
right.
ended up going. And I kind of stopped. Was going like that. But no, I never had a problem. Listen, I always tell my son, and being athletic all my life, you got to train harder than the event because
Hmm.
the event should be easy the way you train. You know what I
Right.
mean? Muhammad Ali was good at that. So you train and train like a madman, and you go in there, and there's nothing that should be easy.
Right.
Like I tell them all the time, you got to run, you got to run. Why? I said because it doesn't matter what skill you have. If you don't have the air, you don't have the skill. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it doesn't matter.
Right.
Train, train, train. My wife almost divorced me back then because once I got into my training modes, no, she didn't like me. She didn't like me
Hmm.
because I was bored right here, right here. I got into an argument with Rhea Hughes because she wanted me to do a procession. I'm like, look, I just want to go out there and eat. I'm not a showman like that. Just go
Hmm.
out. Let me just walk out, get on the table, and kick some ass. Oh, excuse
Hmm.
Right.
me. I don't know if we can curse
Yeah,
on
no problem. You
that.
good. You good.
Oh,
Hey, that's the fire in you.
You get me all worked up. Am I sweating?
I
Yeah.
get you.
In February of '06, you were inducted into the Wing Bowl Hall of Fame. Uh, I mean, even though this was something, it was not on a. Well, I guess it was on a national level, right?
Well, I know there was odds out of Vegas. I was 3-1
Mm-hmm.
odds out of Vegas.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Vegas were even throwing that down.
Mm-hmm.
I had some sketchy people in South Philly ask me to throw one because they had money in this thing, and I said, "No, nah, I can't do that. I can't mention no names." But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they were like, I said, "No." They took me and walk around the block and said, "Listen, we got no. Don't even ask me that. It ain't
Right.
happening."
Did you ever consider doing the hot dog
Oh,
contest
I
up
did.
in?
I did Nathan's.
Oh, okay.
The National Federation of Competitive Eating had asked me to do Nathan's. And I'm like, listen, I'm El Wingador. I'm not El Hot Dogador. I don't
Right.
really do hot dogs. I said, but you know what? I'll give it a shot because I'm a competitor. They wanted my name El Wingador in there because I was, I was known for being a chicken wing champion. So I ended up winning the New Jersey State contest. You got to qualify to get in there, and I won the New Jersey up North Jersey somewhere. And I gave me a year supply of Nathan's hot dogs. Gave them all away, and
Mm-hmm.
it got me into Nathan's, and I did okay. I'm thinking I'm kicking butt. I'm on 38 in 8 minutes. I looked over. Kobayashi was on 64.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He was on 49. I had like
Mm-hmm.
38, and I was at 8 minutes in, and I'm like, and I just stopped and watched him. I'm not going to win this, and I don't. So long story short, he ended up eating 64 that year. It was on ESPN, and I walked to Coney Island and ordered a large pie and drove home down the turnpike and ate the pizza after that. My wife's like,
Wow.
"Why don't you eat more hot dogs?" I'm like, "I wasn't going to beat this guy." You
Mm-hmm.
know, you got to
Yeah.
learn. You got to pick you pick your fights.
Choose your battles.
I
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a video that I think you were out of the wing bowl competition for a couple years, and then your son, when he was little, saw you competing, and he said, I forget exactly how you worded it, but he asked like something about like where was I, and you said you weren't even thought of, and that you said you
Right.
got the idea to you know let your son see you,
Well, I got
kind of
into it.
kind
Yeah.
of inspired you to
It
go
got me
back.
inspired to come back in my 50s to compete again. Yeah. And I did well. I hung in there great.
Right.
I just wish I did as well as I did in the beginning. I
Mhm.
was just tailing off at the I still eat a lot of food. I could still eat 20, 30 pounds of food. I don't really get full, but being 63 years old, not a good idea no more. You
Right.
know, the fire's kind of out of me. My time's done. It's over with.
Mhm.
I decided to, take the name El Wingador and brand it.
Right.
And I love to cook. I make Puerto Rican food, the best in the world. I used to have a restaurant in Philly. We did Puerto Rican food and we also did American food. We did pork, we did everything. And, there was a certain situation with my family where I lost the restaurant. That's when I got in trouble. That's when I got in trouble. But I'm a foodie. I love food. I love eating it. I love creating it. I love to see people liking the food. But at the same time, I'm a competitor. You never want to fight me because I'll do anything to win. Yeah, I'm not a dirty fighter, but I'm an animal.
Right. As far as, can you talk a little bit about your sauces that you
Well,
just
right
put it?
now, what we did was my wife and I invented the sauce company years ago. We ran it mom and pop. She didn't trust anybody to go into business with. People saw something there. They wanted to go to another level. She
Right.
didn't trust anyone. And we were just stayed mom and pop, mom and pop. We couldn't get to another level. So, long story short, I got into some trouble. I mean, I could be here for hours and tell you a whole script. I got Hollywood knocking on my door, give me an option agreement to do a Hollywood story on Netflix about my life. Um, I I lost everything twice in my life. It was tough. I lost everything: my family, my house, on decisions that I made that weren't good. But it
Mm-hmm.
was more for survival. No justification there. It was more for survival than anything. I faced a lot of financial proper problems, and I got big fast, and I didn't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's the only way that I can. I didn't never knew the answer, and then I stopped thinking about like you don't need an answer for this. Just start from here on out. Know that you have something, and work with it. Forgive people and move on. So, long story short, I have two partners now. One in Italy, one in New Jersey here, that helped me brand the name El Wingador brand,
Mm-hmm.
and we reformulated the sauce where it's all natural. It's the best. It's award winning sauce. I got to get you guys some. You've never had anything like this. This is the
Okay.
best
No,
out of the top 10 sauces in your life. I put this 3 or 4 because
love to
there's
try.
always, yeah. What's that?
So I'd love to try some.
Yeah.
Sure,
So
Al would too.
Yeah,
so
but
they're
before we
helping.
get off, you just give us the information how we can, order them.
Oh, lwingador.com. That easy.
Okay.
That easy.
Okay.
So they're helping me do that. I started this thing called the WWC. It's like the WWF, but it's a wing
Mm-hmm.
challenge. Wingador's wing challenge. So we designed it as a WWF theme, and I'm having these events. We just had our first one in the tailgate a couple weeks ago. It went fantastic. Um, every place we go on to visit to have the event, Piccalillo, Old Rail House, all these places. You know what the first thing they tell me? Oh, we're famous for our wings. So
Mm-hmm.
I said to Mike, listen, if they're famous for their wings, and I'm a wing champion, so called, why don't we take their sauces, sign a non disclosure, and put it under our brand? So
Mm-hmm.
he's like, I like that idea. So we ended up with Piccalilli first. They're going to give us, you've heard of the Piccalilli, right?
Yeah, this
Mm-hmm.
it's not too
Yeah.
far from where I live.
Okay. Yeah. My mom lives in Leisure Town out in Southampton. So she's out
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
I went to Lenape High School back in the day. But
Okay. Okay.
they got voted best wing in South Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us their 3 best-selling sauces. Now it's in our labs getting samples. We're going to put them under the El Wingador brand and sell
Okay.
their
Nice.
sauce, tell their story
Mm-hmm.
under the brand. And then, of course, they get royalties. We'll take care of everything, and then they get a royalty for everything. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to
Nice.
do that along the way. Plus, I have more product coming out also.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
But let me tell you, since I'm a foodie, Luigi bought into my brand only because he likes me, number one, which is important. And number two, he brokers food to Canada, all from Italy. All
Mm-hmm.
great food from Italy, brokers it to Canada. He wanted to get into the United States market. Luigi was a customer of mine. He had restaurants in Canada. He kept
Mm-hmm.
buying the El Winglor sauce and using it for different things, not just
Mm-hmm.
wing sauce, it's an everything sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got into trouble and I shut it down, he called me on Messenger and he said, I can't get your sauce no more. And I was like, told him what happened. He said, let me help you get to another level. So
Mm-hmm.
long story short, he wants to take the El Wingador brand, bring all the Italian products to the United States under the El Wingador brand. I got coffee coming out soon. The best
Wow.
coffee you ever had. The best
Okay.
coffee. I got
Okay.
pastas. I got everything coming
Mm-hmm.
out
Nice.
soon.
Well,
So I mean, it's something that the fun part about all this is creating it. You
mm-hmm.
know, is
Mm-hmm.
creating it, and that's just as much fun for me than it was eating the wings.
Right.
Right.
So,
Hey.
but
Now,
I tell people all the time, you got a vision, you got a challenge, you got to accomplish it. It's there in front of
absolutely.
you. Go get
Absolutely.
it. And I wrote that in my book.
Yeah. Speaking of the book, that's where I was just going next. Snow on the Barbed Wire.
Yeah.
Uh, I would imagine, based on some of the things you just said, that when you said you had some trouble, did that inspire the book or help cause the book?
Two things with me. I broke the law. 2012. Yeah, I got into trouble 4 years ago again. I'm on a probation thing right now. But
Mm-hmm.
I broke the law, and you could tell me I'm completely wrong, and I appreciate your opinion. But I have different feelings about the government and money and how things are done.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the right thing. I did the right thing. I was working. I was doing my thing, and then the pandemic hit. I got into trouble a couple years ago, but I had the restaurant in 2006, seven, something like that. My aunt and uncle ended up stealing close to $80,000 from me in like 7 months, 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
I lost everything, and I tried to jump back into a truck because I was a truck driver by trade, and recession was going on in 2008. I wasn't making any money, and I was still had the same bills going on that I had when I was making money, and I ended up going sideways to try to supplement my income.
Right, right.
And I got jammed up. And like I said, I don't justify, but when you got a family of five and you can't get a job anywhere, or nobody's hiring, or you're making $300 a week with a $4,500 bills a month, that wasn't going to work for me.
Hmm.
And twice I got into trouble, twice for that reason. I wasn't educated enough back in 2012 when I got arrested. I wasn't educated enough to know how to get to another level with real estate or investments or any kind of business. I just didn't know how to do it. I'm not stupid. When I did get locked up for 2 years, all I did was read books, business books, and biographies, and how the person did this, and how did you get from here to here. And I read close to 80 books, and I ended up writing Snow on the Barbed Wire inside. And the name came out of me sitting in a cell over in Trenton, New Jersey, looking out through my bars at the window, and it was snowing, big time snowing. And you could see the guard tower where I was. And the snow, I'm looking out the window through, and I said, "Man, the snow is beautiful." I said, "But this place is so evil, it won't even land in this courtyard."
Hmm.
But on the barbed wire, the snow was this thick on the barbed wire with those real white lights, the real bright lights, was
Right,
hitting
Right.
right.
it and sparkling. I said, the snow on the barbed wire is beautiful. And when I said snow on the barbed wire, you know how you go, wow, there's the name of my
Like
book.
the light clicked on.
Right.
Well, it clicked on there, and it clicked on for when I changed my name from the Wingador, the Wing Slayer, like
Hmm.
Bull Slayer Matador, to El Wingador. When I said El Wingador, I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to make this a household name. I'm going to win a few times. This was before I won all these wing bowls. I said, maybe
Mm-hmm.
someday my own wing. I had my own wing through Rostelli Foods. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? When I got into trouble, they cut my contract. I had a restaurant. I had and then I did the sauces. Like I always think there's more, there's more, there's more,
Right,
Right.
you
right.
know? So that's how I've always been. And I think it's a good name. I think I carry myself well. I'm good to everybody. I don't steal from people. I don't treat people bad. I got jammed up with some stuff. You show me a perfect person, I'll show you a liar.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I wrote a tell-all book because the reason I wrote the book is because it was therapy for me.
Hmm.
That's why I say, ask me whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'll tell you. Because there ain't nobody out there going to judge me except the man upstairs.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So
You're right there.
yeah, well, you know me, stay prayed up, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd see your posts every day on
Hey,
Facebook.
dude, listen,
Hmm.
I
The
write.
videos.
I love to write. I got notebooks here all the time that I write on. And
Right.
and I write all this stuff down before I post it. I don't just wing it. I don't
Right.
steal it. This is just how I feel. And it's got to resonate with me to put it on down on Facebook.
Hmm.
And what makes me feel good is the people that say, "Yo, listen, that helped me a lot today." You know what I mean? And that
Right,
one
right.
person or five
Hmm.
people, that's worth every bit of it. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Listen,
Definitely.
I'll be missing in action for 3 days, and people go, "Yo, you all right?"
Right.
Hmm.
they don't know if they're going to see me in jail again or something. I don't know.
Right, right. But
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. No matter what you're doing and what you go through, if you do something and it helps one person, man,
Right.
that's a success right there.
And people don't realize how huge that is.
Hmm.
How
Oh.
huge that is. Just even with the book, people read the book and go, "I loved your book. It reminded me a lot of my life."
Hmm.
And I'm just like, cool. I'm glad you liked it. And now I have some people now, some Hollywood producers that read the book, and they want to do a 7, 8 series show on that book called
Hmm.
El Wingador, the Bill Simmons story. They think they could sell it to Hulu or Netflix.
Right,
I
right.
I don't I don't they said I can promote it, but I until I sign the option agreement, I don't
Hmm.
really talk about it. I'll tell you guys, it's just something that's
Right.
going on in my life right now.
Right, right.
Right.
Absolutely. Everything has to start somewhere, correct?
You ain't kidding. You're not kidding. My life has been a roller coaster ride. It
Hmm.
really has been. But you know what? I'm good, man. Like I really don't fear nothing. I'm 63 years old. I think when you get past 60, you just don't care. You care,
Right.
but you don't care anymore. Like,
Right, right.
you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I'm just trying to I'm having fun trying to create new products, helping other people. I always tell people, and no pun intended, but in my world, I want everybody to eat. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I want
Right.
everybody to eat,
Hmm.
you know? So I'm not stingy person. I got screwed so many times with money and relationships and I'm a cowboy. When things get rough, I strap up and put my boots on and make it work somehow.
Absolutely. I mean, to really look at it, there is no other choice, right?
No,
There's
no.
no other choice.
I
See
tell
that.
my son this all the time. I said, you got to do whatever it takes. And I call
Hmm.
that champion's choice. And then
Right.
he's like, what's
Right.
champion's choice? I go, whatever it takes.
Hmm.
Whatever
Oh,
it takes. Yeah, if you ever, I mean, I'm a little crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. But if you really think about it, look at the superstars in all our sports. They're all nuts.
Hmm.
They're all crazy. You know what I mean? And like, I'll give you an example, and I love Lenny Dykstra. Talk to
mm-hmm.
that man, a very intelligent man. He's just nuts, but
Right.
he's a
Hmm.
great guy. He's got a big heart, and he played like nails. He played
Yeah.
hard. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? That guy, you couldn't golf with him without fist fighting if you beat him. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
Oh,
saying? So
oh,
and I tell my son that you got to go above and beyond to win.
Hmm.
You have no friends on that court on the other team. Afterwards, you
oh.
can yuck it up, but it's about competing.
Yeah.
Never a sore loser. Just compete. Never quit.
But and
Learn.
I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. As human beings, we have this thing within us to be first. And some people don't like to take all the roles to be first. They like to do shortcuts, and you would never be first doing a shortcut.
Nah, nah. Listen, I tell my son all the time. I have an 18-year-old son who's amazing, amazing athlete in himself. I said, you have to be good to everybody, even the smallest person you come across. I don't care if it's a shoe shiner, hot dog vendor, because that's where you built your quality and who you are.
Hmm.
Because
Right.
those people right there talk good about you. There's nothing worth more than that person or those people saying, you know what, that guy got a hot dog. I shined his shoes. I did this. He was the greatest guy. And that is worth more than somebody just taking shortcuts to become a millionaire or getting your connections and stuff like that, stabbing people in the back. That's what
Absolutely.
you want. You
Right.
want to treat everybody good. That's what makes me feel good. Listen, I'm happy with $5 in my bank account. Well, I'm not happy with $5 in my bank account,
Right.
but I'm the same person with $5 in my bank
Right,
account
right.
or $1 million in my bank account.
Hmm.
You can't change. I mean, people do, but for me, I just can't even explain it to you.
Hmm.
You have to hang out with me for at least a couple months to know
Mm-hmm.
what my life is.
Right, right.
My son enjoys being with me and how I
Hmm.
treat people and pay for people's groceries, buy people Christmas trees that have no money, and I've done all
Oh,
that, and
Hmm.
I don't put it on Facebook or do this or do that. I help a lot of people,
Right, right.
and to me, that builds your worth right there as a human being,
exactly.
not your bank account. I'd rather
No.
somebody talk good about me, I have an abundance of people talk good about me, than people just handing me money to go away.
Right.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
Absolutely.
and
So
God,
I hopefully you understand that. I
Oh
to
yeah.
try to put it in the best way I could.
Hmm.
I
But
mean, God, was going to
what's
say,
that?
God forbid, you never know what kind of situation you're going to be in, and you're helping everybody out. It comes back to you eventually.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I've been in some sketchy situations in my life. Even when I was locked up, I got into a lot of fights. But it was more of defending myself.
Hmm.
They wanted to put me in PC. I'm like, what's that? They're like protective custody. I'm like, no, man, they're for like child molesters and rats. No, I'm good. But they
Hmm.
were like, they kept moving me because people were coming at me because of who I was. It
Right,
was
right.
crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Would
But
you? Was going to
what's
say,
that?
would you ever consider doing a second book?
I
Not that,
actually am working on one.
are you?
But here's the problem. Inside, there's not too many distractions. There's
Right.
nothing to do. If there's nothing, see, I got into a fight over the television set in the day room with a murderer. I got put in
Mm-hmm.
a hole for 3 days. We beat the hell out of each other, only
Wow.
because of the TV. He came at me,
Yeah.
and we did what we had to do. So when I came out of there, I just said, "F that TV." I was in a general library every day, pulling books out, trading books, and I read enough books. I was like thinking it was in my 40s or 50s in my books. I had 3 books going in 1 week. I read Steve Jobs' book, book about the KFC, the Colonel. I read all these
Mm-hmm.
books, and to me, it's a movie because everything you read, you're picturing in your mind. So I
Right,
Right.
was
right,
good.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, you know what? I can write a book. It inspired me to write a book. So when I started writing, you got the long legal pad paper, the
Hmm.
yellow stuff.
Right.
I started writing, and I said, here I sit in Southern State Correctional Center. How did I get here? I was always a good kid, always a good guy. Well, let's find out together. Strap on. We're going on a roller coaster ride. And I started writing, and I just released all the stuff out of me. And I felt so good. I felt so good. They shut the lights off at 9:45, so I had a pencil this big writing from the light from outside my
Mm-hmm.
book, like just therapeutically writing my journal. And then I gave it to other inmates that were avid readers,
Right.
and they were like, "This is great. When are you going to finish it?" I said, "Well, how's that?" They go, "This is good." Joe Valley, my partner at the time with the book, would visit me once a month. He was the only one that ever visited me. I had black eyes, I had broken knuckles because I got into fights. And I would give him this, and he would come back the next month and go, "You wrote this?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Dude, this stuff's good." So he edited it for me and did some changes on it. But when I got out, well, the inmates wanted to read it. I mean, not the inmates, the COs wanted to read it. And I'm like, no, they tore up my cell. They didn't tore up my script. They just tore, like, threw everything around. So I mailed everything out to Joe Valley, and I said, "I finish this book when I get out." So when I got out, we met up at a Dunkin' Donuts in West Effort, New Jersey, and we sat for
Hmm.
2 hours. He recorded my stories, and then he put it down,
Wow.
and we finished the book, Snow on the Barbed Wire.
Now,
Nice.
then you two have a podcast at one time as well.
Yeah, the Wing Valley show. I came up with that
Mm-hmm.
name, the Wing Valley. We just kind of saw things differently down along our relationship. Joe is was a lot like my wife. Didn't trust anybody. Me, I always say the only risk in life is not taking one. But he was kind of hating on some people that I needed to talk to about getting to another level. And it was always a constant conflict with him. Till one day he said, "Look, I can't do this no more." And he walked away from me. And that's cool. I don't hate the guy. He's a great guy, God bless him. But it just, I was told by some people, my publicists and stuff, that Joe's a good guy, but he's a deal breaker for you, Bill, because you'd like to go get it. Joe's very tentative in a lot of things he wanted to do, and
Mm-hmm.
we kind of just didn't see eye to eye. It happens. That's why I got 2 ex-wives.
Bill,
Yeah.
I was talking to you earlier. You actually did a little bit of celebrity boxing some years back, where you're saying you're supposed to fight Jose Canseco, but he backed out and ended up
Ye-
boxing at Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Can you
Yeah,
get into
Brutus.
that a little?
Well, I wanted to fight for Damon. I fought for Damon a while back. I fought a guy. He was 6'6". They called him Smoke. He was a WWC wrestler or something. I don't know what he was. And he was bigger than me. 28-year-old ex-marine. I'm 6'4.5". 42 years old. I fought him at. He was 28, and we beat the shit out of each other. And we fought to a tie. He just came. I'm just out there throwing hands with him. He's comes at me. I grabbed him. I threw him. So after the fight, we called it a draw. I said to Damon, "Dude, he's an." I didn't even know he was an ex-marine. I didn't know he was 20. I got mad. I said, "Damon, why are you putting me in with this guy?" I said, "I'm 42." He goes, "Dude, you did great." So I said, "The next fight, I want to fight like Jose Canseco. I want a big name." So
Right.
he made it happen a couple years later. Jose Canseco never heard of El Wingador. He researched me. He saw me. I guess I looked fat. I don't know. He went on Fox 29 is like, El Wingador. He goes, "I'm the ultimate athlete. I'm knocking him out in the second round." My wife's in the kitchen looking at this, calling me downstairs. So you hear him? And I was going to the press conference that day at Chickies and Pete's. My daughter at the time was 13 years old. So she came with me. and he was sitting at the table like this when I walked in. And he just looked at me because I'm 6'4", 316 pounds, and I work out like
Right.
a psycho. I used to bench 380, 3 sets of 10, and he just looked at me. He went. He's like, and he said, "Man," he goes, "I didn't realize you were that big." I said, "Listen, you're going to see an ultimate athlete. I'm knocking you out in a second." And then my daughter stepped in and said something to him too. So
Mhm,
that night was the weigh-in over in Aston, PA.
Hmm.
I pull up, and Damon comes out. He goes, "Jose left. He don't want to fight you." He goes, "I'm
mhm,
suing him. He got paid 10 grand." And he goes, "You're gonna fight Brutus the Barber." I'm going, "Who's that? I don't follow wrestling."
Right.
And I know, like, I met Bam Bam Bigelow, and I knew King Kong Bundy because he lived around here.
Right.
I grew up in all this area,
Hmm.
and I go, "Who's that?" And my wife punched him up, and I looked at him, and I'm training at Rosati's gym. I'm training, getting my workout in, and I trained just as hard as I did at Wing Bowl.
Right.
And I looked at him, and he's just built. And I went, "Good, I'm kicking his ass," and I TKO'd him first round, 40 seconds in.
Wow.
mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Mike had sent me that video the day, but I couldn't get it on because I wasn't able to transfer it to MP4. But
Oh,
yeah, I saw
it's
it
nothing
today.
special. Don't blink. If you go on New York Times / El Wingador, Earl
Hmm.
Morris, his famous Hollywood director, I did a KFC commercial out in Los Angeles for their new grilled wings back in the day. And he liked me so much because of the stories I would tell him. He did a New York Times small film called El Wingador. It's 10 minutes
Hmm.
long. So if you
Oh,
punch
okay.
up New York, NY Times / El Wingador, you'll see. And I talk about training. I talk
Hmm.
about some of the things I've eaten. I eat a gigantic pizza in 19 minutes. Got me $1,100 gift certificates. I donated to an elementary school, and I gave them the certificates. And the lady says, "We can't eat all this pizza." And I'm like, "Just eat. I don't care. Neither can I. Just take them, you know."
Right.
So I've done the Steve Harvey show. Me and Steve raced on when he had the show. What was that show called? He had a show called. It was just people in there that did really crazy stuff. He
Hmm.
brought me out and we raced each other. He kept cheating. He kept throwing the wings under the couch, trying to tell me he beat me. So great guy. He was a great
Hmm.
guy. I did Japanese television, United Kingdom television. I did all these things, and I wrote about it in my book. I'm like, all this for just eating chicken wings. I met
Hmm.
Wow.
all these celebrities. It's crazy. I couldn't keep up with it all because I felt that I needed to do more of who I was, and I didn't
Hmm.
know how to get there. You know, so I said, I got to make myself smarter. That's the only, I was a screw up in school. I mean, I had tryouts with the Phillies, Atlanta Braves. I was a good
Hmm.
athlete. I had a free ride to Temple. I blew. I cut school. Went to a party. I cut school. I missed the game that he came out. Skip Wilson came out,
Hmm.
and I got thrown off the team. So I started playing semi-pro baseball in Puerto Rico, 15 years old, with my uncle
Wow.
Carlos. So there's a lot of things I've done in my life. And when you're 15 years old and you're playing for a semi-pro team, you know, with men, Spanish guys, and they're doing some crazy stuff. We're playing in New York, St. Louis. We're taking bus trips for the weekend and play ball with these guys. Then we would go to the club afterwards. And that's a whole nother story. I grew up fast,
Right.
let me tell you that much.
Right.
you know?
I hear
But
you.
it's your life is what makes you. It's your paradigm. But I always knew that I had my dad's and my mom's heart, and I was always good to people. And I feed the homeless. I do whatever I need to do because you never know when what a day brings.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
So, did you want to ask me something else about the book?
Mike, you got anything?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm like,
As far as I'm concerned, let's see.
I'm trying.
If I have sauce, you can get it on lwingador.com. I
Yeah, I'm
have
definitely gonna do that, and also your book too. I'm definitely gonna read your book, and
Yeah, it's on Amazon, and our second event, WWC, Wingador's Wing Challenge, is going to be at the Piccolo, January 22nd, 7 p.m.
The
So
Piccalilli?
it's the Piccolo, yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so it's all you can eat wing night. So, but for us, it's $40 to sit down at the seat to compete. You get a T-shirt, you get a bottle of sauce, and you get. I think we're only going to do fastest 20. I don't want to. I'm not all about gluttony anymore. It's all about speed.
Mm.
So I don't want to
What
hurt
was that time
nobody.
frame again? What was that
Uh,
date?
January 22nd. It's a Wednesday night, and at the Piccolo and Shimon.
Yeah, yeah.
But come on out. We got a podcast
What?
going on. I got a whole team of people that are great.
What?
Uh,
Well, I was going to say, I got. I mean to cut you off.
no, so you go on the website. There'll be information on there. I think there's a link to getting Eventbrite tickets for that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I have a whole team that puts all this together. But
Okay.
you got my information. I can give it to you on the
Yeah,
side. Or I'm going to make more announcements on Facebook too and social media.
yeah. Because
Where's it
that's
located in Jersey?
Where
The
the,
Piccalilli.
it's
oh,
in,
that's
it
on 206 in Shimon.
yeah, near the
Yeah,
206 Route 70 circle. It's probably about maybe 10 minutes from the. You know where that is? The circle. You a Pensy
yeah,
guy?
yeah. Like I said,
Yeah.
I live on 38 in Lumberton, and the two lights down is 206. So I make that right and head right down there.
Oh, I know where you. I almost went. I go to the Aldi all the time. Go shop food
Okay,
shop for my mom.
okay, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm in Philly,
Oh, okay.
Northeast Philly.
Well, we're going to have another event coming up. We're thinking about the Golden Nugget. They're interested in having it, and then there's a
Hmm.
place in Manayunk called the Crescent Inn.
Hmm.
They're interested in having it. I got all kind of people hitting us up, but we have to have all this done before February 7th, the Friday before the Super Bowl, because our winners of our events will be going to the wing pole. Excuse me
Okay,
one second. Which
okay.
is the original wing pole at
Hmm.
Cheerleaders in South Philadelphia,
Or,
and I think the prize there is like a $5,000 cash prize.
oh,
Hmm. Okay.
Oh yeah.
well, if you
Yeah,
need
and
help,
a lot of people are like, I can't compete against you. I said, dude, I'm not getting in it. I'm inviting all amateurs. I'm tired of the same old people showing up and taking everything. To me,
Hmm.
if you ask me, that's those eating events with all these big players in anymore that win everything all the time. They're boring to me. They're
Hmm.
right?
expected to win. But I want the regular Tom, Dick, Harry, Sally, Kelly, whatever, to come and compete. And you know what I mean? Like I want to.
Well,
I'm looking for a next champion.
Hmm.
if you need help promoting it, be happy to help out
Oh,
any way.
absolutely. My partner might be watching. Are we live now? My partner might be
Yes, yes,
watching.
we are
Yeah, we're
live.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he's probably watching, Mike. But yeah, we're working on it. We're three guys that had other things going on in this world, and we're
Hmm.
hmm
putting this little brand together, and we're going to try to grow it into a multi-million-dollar company. I want to make the WWC event into a nonprofit because I want everybody to get paid for their time and what they do. But any money, I don't want to make money off it. I want to make whatever we make and give it to a charity. You know what I
right.
mean? But at the same time, everybody gets paid. There's a lot of nonprofits out there that people go to for their job. But if this is what I've been talking to my partners about, so we're going to talk about that down the line. This is all kind of experiment. We're going to refine this after Wing Pole February 7th and maybe
Okay.
have events all year round and get all these winners into next year's Wing Pole. So
Okay.
Well,
Good.
we're just feeling our way through.
Hmm.
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but if you need
we
help,
would definitely like to get back with you once everything is finalized, and like Mike said, to help you, promote it, get this out here through us as well.
Well, I mean, if you come out to the Piccalilli, man, bring a camera and you could probably show some stuff on your podcast that we're doing
Absolutely.
out there. And then, maybe we can get an eater out there in your land.
Yeah, you never know. It
Yeah.
won't be me though.
Come on,
nah,
man. Well, you're younger than me, right?
No.
You're older than 63?
Yeah, I'm 70.
God bless you, man. You look good. Hold on, hold
Thank
on. I
you.
didn't want to put
Thank
these
you.
on. I look like Clark Kent with these on. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I would definitely come out and support, though. I won't come out. I'm gonna eat a few wings now, but
all right.
not
Oh,
a whole
you have
bunch.
So,
to. You have to have the Wingador Champions blend on it.
Yeah,
You
absolutely,
here,
absolutely.
you're gonna love it. But it's originally made with I don't know if you know anything about Puerto Rican food, but if you ever heard of sofrito,
Mm-hmm.
So sofrito, I make my own sofrito. I made the sauce with that.
Okay.
So, but I paid $2,000 to bring a new formula to, like, so with this, it's all natural now. No
Mm-hmm.
Right.
GMOs, gluten free, and I tell you what, this is much better than the regular formula, and
Right.
it goes on everything. My son puts it on eggs, tacos, mashed potatoes, chicken, steak. You can cook with it. You can marinate with it. You can dip pretzels in it. It's so good, so
I,
good.
What
I, I
what
think I'm gonna
what
order me some of that tonight.
what what does sofrito consist of?
Oh,
The
excuse me, one
dish.
second.
Oh,
Well, excuse me one second. It's a Puerto Rican vegetable puree. It's got
mhm,
cilantro, it's got culantro, it's got garlic, it's got onions. I put a couple special things in it to give it a little bit of flavor. It's
right,
got it's oregano, parsley. It's got a lot of and it's got these little anejo peppers. These
Mm-hmm.
real little peppers, they're round little things. They got so much great flavor. What it does, it enhances the rice and gandules, the rice and beans, a soup. Because I cook a lot of Spanish food.
right.
And what I did, I've been making the El Wingador sauce probably for 30 years before I was even El Wingador. And I was just like, let me try this on wings. And I did, and it just took off.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was
Okay.
making gallons of it at my house and dropping the gallons off at all these local bars and
Right.
buying 50 wings for the bar. And I said, let me know if people like this. Next thing
Mm-hmm.
I know, all those bars were my customers, and I was making everything at the house, in my home, in my kitchen.
Is,
Yeah.
is there
Okay.
any
Okay.
special dishes that you favorite dishes you like cooking up?
Favorite dishes?
Yeah, of
Oh,
your own.
I love Puerto Rican food. I cook
Mhm.
a lot of Puerto. I make Italian food too. I make my
See,
own gravy. Gravy I call gravy because gravy to me is when you cook the meat in there first.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
sauces with no meat at all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So to me, gravy because it's more gravier with the oils from the meat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Excuse me
That's
one second. But
Yeah. No
that.
problem.
but yeah, it's I just love to cook. I had my own restaurant. I got screwed out of that. I kind of put my mark on this earth, and I want to take it to another level. And
Mm-hmm.
whatever I do to make this into a $1 million company, a lot of people, a lot of charities will benefit from that. I promise that.
Now, do you
Nice.
have any intentions of going back into the restaurant?
I did. I just couldn't deal with the food cost, and I would
Mm-hmm.
feel real bad charging for a chicken cheesesteak or a 10 wings a lot of money to somebody. I would
Right.
end
Right.
up
Right.
losing money because of how I am. I would just give it to you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? At cost, and I can't do that. So
Right.
I'd rather just kind of stay away from it right now and see where it goes down the line.
Right.
Now, if
Right.
there's a company who wants to come along and say we want to take your name, license it, and do sports bars and call them out Wingadors, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
Absolutely.
mean? But as
Mm-hmm.
far as me being my age and you know, I don't have the energy or the time for that anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and that takes a lot of work.
Right. Right.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah,
Mike, you have anything else?
I think we not I think we covered. Thank you for staying on for almost an hour. I know we said 15, 20 minutes, and we know you're not feeling what
dude,
under
I
the
think
weather.
that Advil, sinus, and cold kicked in. I know it's the
Making
daytime, but I
Right.
right,
gotta sleep tonight, man. So
right.
hopefully I get to sleep soon. But it's
Yeah, I
all
hear
good.
you.
It's good. I listen. I love
Oh,
talking to people, man. Whatever I can
oh,
do to help you guys.
we appreciate it, especially being New Year's Day. Like a lot of people off today and probably tired from being up late last night. But
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, I
But if
just
you
had
know if you ever need me to do anything else, as I progress and things open up for me, and you guys want to talk to me about the new things that are happening in my life, I'm
uh,
more than welcome to call me, and we'll do this.
we
We'll-
absolutely.
definitely love to have you back on, and like we
yeah,
said, we're willing to
I,
help you out. And promote your the wing puller,
I
whatever you got.
I appreciate this, man. This is
No, no
this.
problem.
I know that this is huge for the brand and for my partners, and I still have obligations to them.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I came into this flat broke.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a motorhome. This is a motorhome that I live in. When I
Mm-hmm.
got divorced, my wife got the 4-bedroom home, and I had this motorhome, and it's beautiful. It's not uncomfortable. Let me put it that way.
Right,
But
right.
this is where I live, and I struggle like a lot of other people right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make this work.
I hear you. Well, the
Uh,
best of luck to you. I definitely wish you the best. I'm so glad you came on today. Everybody has a story.
Absolutely.
Right.
To be honest with you, when Mike first told me, I asked Mike the other day, I said, Mike, do you think he would mind talking about the problems, right? Because, everybody don't like talking
I
about it.
don't.
But to me, it's just part of a story. And
Right.
everyone on the face of this earth has a story.
Yeah, they do. And with me, it's kind of it, it's kind of weird putting my dirty laundry out, and I don't mind doing it because, like I said, what gets me through it is you show me that perfect person, I'll show you a liar.
Right.
But it makes me feel good to tell people, and it takes the power away from people when you say, "Yeah, that's me. I did it," you
Mm-hmm.
know, instead of them
Oh,
talking trash on you.
well, I mean, everybody goes through something. I mean, we're young. When you're
Yeah.
young, you live. We all regret it, but hey, it's to me. I think sometimes it's a learning curve. You
Oh,
just benefit going forward.
well, I heard that before, but I keep having people saying to me, "When are you going to learn, Bill?"
Well,
I don't know if I ever will. I mean, not that I'm doing anything wrong, but I don't know. I kind of beat to my own drum, and I just yeah, I just don't follow the crowd. I just
Mm-hmm.
right.
don't. That's just not me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, if that makes me a bad person in somebody's eyes, okay, all right, that's your opinion. I put
Yeah,
that in my back
absolutely.
pocket and keep moving.
And everybody
Exactly.
got an opinion, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
As long as their opinion of you is not your opinion of you, you're doing well.
well,
Yeah. Listen, I tell people you can have an opinion, you just don't get a say. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
absolutely.
And
Of
that
course.
actually, I said that to my second wife a lot, and that's why she's my second wife, second ex-wife.
Right.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
Good, good. All right,
But
Mike. Well, we're not going to hold you any longer. Let you get you some rest and take care
yeah,
of that
Yeah,
cold
feel
I got
there.
better.
some. I got some soup on the stove. I'm gonna knock out right now and then
All
brush my
right.
teeth and try to lay down a little bit.
All right. Well,
But
thank you. Thank you
if you
for your
need
time.
anything,
I'll
holler
be
lwingador.com. Get the bottles, get the t-shirts. I want to see you out in Shimon at
Absolutely.
Piccolo. We'll have some fun with that.
all right.
Absolutely. Thanks
I'll
again, Mike.
definitely be
Everybody,
reaching out to you.
God bless.
this.
And remember what I always say. Stay prayed up.
Absolutely.
All right.
Amen
Absolutely.
to that.
Everybody, this has
All right.
been Bill El Wingador Simmons. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir.
Take care, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Feel better. Great stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was fantastic, man. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for bringing them on there.
Uh,
And
uh, you
I
know,
love it. I love it.
I've
Okay.
talked to, you know, reached out to Bill a couple times, like
Hmm.
about getting him on. Well, when I was doing my other show, I was going to try to get him on there as well, but luckily this, turned out on New Year's Eve, not New Year's Eve, New Year's night.
Right. Right.
So,
Okay. Before we get out of here, Mike, and we got some time here left there. Let's talk a little bit about this game coming up this weekend. It's not really a game for us, but we have to play it because it's on the schedule. And what do
unfortunately,
you feel about the team resting some of the starters? I mean, I know they can't rest everybody because you can't
mm,
rest 22 people on each side, so somebody's got to play. But what do you feel about Saquon not playing?
I feel for him. It's the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl, but it's before we went live, you brought up if he was 200, 250, but you're 101 yards away from breaking this 40-year record,
Hmm.
and just not only at home, but Saquon's doing. He was playing against the Giants. Like, why wouldn't you just like to stick at the your former front office organization that basically didn't value his services or his talents.
Yeah.
And, we got, Haley went out and got him, paid him the money the man deserved. And, thank you, New York Giants, for letting him come to Philly. I mean,
Absolutely.
he grew up in the Allentown area. Went to Penn State. And, he's an Eagles fan, so we brought him home. And I think he should play, but,
Yeah.
we're not the ones that we're not the ones that make that decision. But
You're right. Absolutely.
I
Yeah. I'm with you. I wanted him to play. I wanted him to get the record. Not saying I'm being selfish for the rest of the team, because I do know the importance of the players resting, and especially in light of what you had said earlier too, that our bye week was in what, week 4, week 5?
It was week 5, and like
Yeah.
I said, Jeff Kerr, who covers the Eagles for, I believe it's CBS or Sports Illustrated,
Mm-hmm.
basically said, he was on WIP with Ricky Ricardo today. And he made a good point that made me think, because the road Eagles have played 12 straight weeks.
Right.
Like, this team hasn't had, they had the bye week, the 5th week, and figure if they play this week, that'll be 13 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And the wild card weekend will make it 14 weeks in a row this team has played. And now I'm sure a lot of these guys could use the rest and be sitting down, just resting. But, it's not just Saquon breaking the record. I mean, you got these guys like the offensive line that, they want to be part of history. I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody from Jeff Lurie, Jeff Stalin, all the way, from the top to bottom, want to be a part of history. And
Even down to the bus driver.
Well, there you go. Very true. Well, let me ask you.
Uh-huh.
Like, you were there Sunday, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I know you're going to see the team tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Matter
sure
of fact, I got them tomorrow, but I will not be doing the game Sunday because it's the Giants and they are bringing their buses down from New York. It's our same company,
right.
but they'll be bringing them down. So I have them at practice tomorrow. But
Right.
my thought, like I say, I wanted to see him play. I wanted to see him get the record.
Right.
I understand why not, but at the same time, to me, this is something that's rare.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been done in over, the record 40 some years by Eric Dickerson.
Right.
And you sit the guys this weekend. That doesn't guarantee that they're going to make it to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't, whatever round, if they lose, now you're not going to the Super Bowl, and you took a chance away from a guy being tops in NFL history.
Right.
Like I said, I understand, but this is something, that to me shouldn't be taken lightly. Now, you're a football player. Even if you get the rest and you play that first weekend, you got the chance of getting hurt. So what are you going to do? Take everybody out so they won't get hurt? Then who's going to play the game?
Right.
So to me, I just think that he should have played at least a half. You don't get it within that first half, okay, we gave it a shot.
Yank everybody out.
Yeah. Yank everybody out.
I
But
mean,
like I said, we don't make those decisions. We would like to see it, so that's something we're just going to have to deal with.
it's it's a catch-22 situation. I mean, just to be there, would be be incredible just to see him break that record and be there in the stands and just witness history. Like I said, like we said, let him play the first half. If not, yank everybody out.
Absolutely.
Because you figured, well, now you're locked into the second seed. You are going to be playing definitely going to be playing wild card weekend. It's
Yeah,
right now. It's
absolutely.
looking like Washington or Green Bay.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Washington or Green Bay, one of those two. Yeah.
as of right now, but man,
Well,
it's good.
I was just gonna say we just have to wait and see. If they can make it all the way, if they can, fine. We will all love that to death, but
Mm,
I just fear,
you-
well, not fear, but I just think that if they don't make it, now the man didn't get a record, which was so close, and
right.
we didn't go to the big dance. So, but
No, it's. I mean, you got. I mean, Minnesota and Detroit playing for that number one seed come Sunday night. I mean, that's going to be a heavyweight fight. I
yeah,
I
and
think the
you know
the
what's bad about that too?
what's up?
One would be number one, the loser would be number five. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Oh,
That which is what happened to us last year.
yeah. I mean, we dropped from
From the
one of the
possible
top.
1 seed to the 5 seed.
Yeah, yeah, but it's I think the Eagles do match up with Green Bay and not Minnesota and Detroit as far as the two teams vying for that number one seed.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just think this is the Eagles' year. I just think I won't even play Jalen this week. I still believe according to Nick
I think he's still
Sirianni's
he's still in protocol.
right. So I
Yeah,
want I throw Tyler McKee out there.
yeah,
Give this kid some reps. Who the hell knows? He could end up being the backup next year behind
yeah.
Jalen.
Absolutely.
So see
Yeah,
what you got with him.
absolutely.
Get some of these younger. Get some of that depth in there, and if you win the game, you win. But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think the Eagles have ever won 14 games
Mhm.
in the season, so it would be nice. But at this point, if you're not playing some of the starters, so
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. You think I know this is going to sound probably weird, but I think Sirianni's just playing possum, saying they're not going to play Barkley, and they end up playing him.
I don't think so. Simply because once he puts it out there,
Right.
then I don't know how to say this. I don't know where it's a rule that he has to stick to it. But if he all of a sudden decides to suit him up and put him out there, I think that might be a possible fine, especially
Yeah.
if you don't notify the
Right.
league that that's what you're doing. So
No,
uh,
it's
I
just a
don't think he
crazy.
would go that route.
Yeah, no, it's just I don't know.
We just have to wait and see, my brother. We just have to wait and
Yeah,
see.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. Just I guess the time the playoff, the wild card weekend probably will be announced. I would think maybe after. I
But
guess
after Sunday night, because I don't think there's a Monday night game this week. So
nah,
after Sunday night, everything will be in concrete, and then all announcement will be made. I do know they said the Eagles possibly could play Saturday, Sunday, or Monday,
right.
for the wild card. So,
That'd be
uh,
interesting seeing them
yeah,
here.
after that last game Sunday night, I think after that, then everything will
I,
be etched in stone.
I think the Eagles will definitely be in a prime time spot somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of those 3 night games or late. Well, could be Saturday night, Monday night, or
Yeah, yeah.
maybe the later game on Sunday.
Mm.
So, great. Great things to come. Get ready for wild card weekend.
Absolutely.
About 11 days, 10 days.
Yeah, after this Sunday too, also, then we'll make a definite decision on going to Ray's show.
Right.
Okay. So
Yeah, because I know they expanded that to I think I think in the February now. They announced more
okay.
days, which is great.
Okay.
But
All right. Well, great show as always.
Absolutely.
Again, I am really thrilled with El Wingador, and
yeah, very
I
cool.
look forward to talking with him again there.
Yeah, well, if we can get out there, what do you say, the 28th?
22nd, 22nd of February. Yeah. I mean January.
That would be pretty neat just to get out there and
Yeah.
see. I mean, I was at a couple wing bowls, but
Okay.
but I don't believe it's 2025, and Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, and you as well, Mike. Happy New Year to you and your family, and hopefully this will be a better year for everybody, for the world, because so much stuff is going on, and when you can't do anything about it, you just have to sit back and look at it and pray, man.
Yeah, it looks like your sister chimed in.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mike. So we're gonna get out of here, and we'll see what we have for next week. But for now, this has been At the 50 with Fuji and Fleet, and our guest today was Bill El Wingador Simmons, 5-time Wing Bowl champion here in the Philadelphia area. So thank everybody for listening, and thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
You too. Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks, Bill El Wingador Simmons, for coming on. Everybody have a good week. Stay safe. God bless. And go Birds.
Go Birds.